North Korea fired several ballistic missiles into the sea on Monday. South Korea's military said, hours after South Korea and US troops kicked off their large annual combined drills, which the North views as an invasion rehearsal. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the missile firings, North Korea's fifth missile launch event this year, were detected from the North's Hwanghae province but gave no further details such as how far they flew. Earlier Monday, the South Korean and US militaries began their annual joint military exercises, which are scheduled to last 11 days. The Freedom Shield Command post exercise began after the South Korea and US militaries paused live fire training while Seoul investigates how to have its fighter jets mistakenly bombed a civilian area during a warm-up drill last week. The drills start drew the condemnation of nuclear-armed North Korea, which issued a government statement calling the exercises a dangerous provocative act that increases the risks of military conflict. About 30 people were injured, 2 of them seriously, when two South Korean KF-16 fighter jets mistakenly fired date and K-82 bombs on a civilian area in Pochan, a town near the North Korean border, on Thursday. The bombing occurred while South Korean and US forces were engaging in a live-fire drill ahead of the larger Freedom Shield exercise. In a background briefing to domestic reporters on Monday, the South Korean Air Force repeated its initial assessment last week that one of the KF-16 pilots had entered the wrong coordinates for a bombing site. The unidentified pilot didn't recognize the error during a pre-takeoff check-in, rushing to meet scheduled timing, failed to visually verify the target before proceeding with the bombing. The second pilot had the correct coordinates but focused only on maintaining formation with the earth and dropped the bombs following the first pilot's instructions, failing to recognize they deviated from the right target. According to the content of the briefing provided to the Associated Press, General Lee Young-soo, Chief of Staff of the South Korean Air Force, bowed and apologized Monday over the injuries and property damage caused by the incident, which he said should have never happened and must never happen again. Both the South Korea and US militaries have halted all live-fire exercises in South Korea following the mishap. South Korean military officials say live-fire training will resume after they complete the ongoing investigation on the bombing and formulate preventative steps. The Freedom Shield exercise marks the first large-scale joint exercise since President Donald Trump began his second term. It comes amid growing tensions with North Korea over its nuclear ambitions and its alignment with Russia in President Vladimir Putin's war on Ukraine. Trump, who met North Korean leader Kim Jong-un 3 times during his first term, has expressed his willingness to reach out to Kim again to revive diplomacy, which collapsed due to disagreements over exchanging US-led sanctions against the North and the North's denuclearization steps. But Pyongyang has yet to respond to his overture and has continued its fiery rhetoric against Washington and Seoul over their joint military exercises, which Kim portrays as rehearsals for invasion. In a statement issued through state media Monday, the North Korean Foreign Ministry called the Freedom Shield exercise an aggressive and confrontational war rehearsal that risks triggering physical conflict on the Korean peninsula. The ministry reiterated Kim's state goals for a radical growth of his nuclear force to counter what he claims as growing threats posed by the US and its Asian allies.